So, right, the last message I got from somebody on our Discord community before Christmas was it's a bit of a heartbreaker, man. I'm not going to say his name. He basically wrote to me saying, I got into copywriting because I wanted to write copy and sell stuff. And I've been persuaded or sold on the idea that the only way of doing that is to build my brand on LinkedIn, to build an email list, to create products to sell into that list. And all I wanted to do was write a copy. And do you know what? There was a really good element of that and a really bad element of that. The bad element was like, oh, mate, I can't, like, I'm with you, because that is the way the industry seems to present itself to. How sad is it that that's how you're feeling? But the great part was that he'd managed to take a step back and sort of wake up to that, to the idea that let's say it quietly, that's all bullshit. You don't need to do any of that stuff. The idea that you need to build a personal brand to be a successful copywriter, to me, just seems like utter nonsense. You need to build a personal brand if what you want to do is sell copywriting advice to other people online, which is what those other people online are trying to do to you. It's just a completely closed circuit. All you really need to do to be successful as a copywriter is have between 5 and 10 good relationships with people who need copy, clients. That's it. If you have 10, you've got too many, frankly, but 5 to 10 good relationships. And then all you need to do is write the words. You just write the copy, and it's the best job in the world. It's so sad that people have been convinced otherwise.
Welcome to The Fix. Sit down with copywriting experts Nick O'Connor and Glenn Fisher as they review, discuss, and improve real-world copy sent in by you. This is The Fix.
I talked about that passionately, and just as I finished speaking, I know you were checking your email.
No, it came up, and I was trying to close my email down, which is open, which I'm gonna. It's one of my 1 to 10 clients. No, you're right, and I though I might be perceivably dispassionate about it, I am quite passionate about it, and I think it's we're going to discuss in this episode 3 of the ways we think copywriters can destroy their career in 2024, and this is one of the big ones. It is marketing to other copywriters rather than to clients. I think it's one of the most obvious. No one wants to hear it. No one likes it. Everybody wants to be like the next known copywriter and all this kind of stuff, and do their own like little bit of marketing stuff. Why? Because it's easy, because you get kudos for it, because you get known, because we all like that. Human nature is like that. I'm like that, by the way. I should underscore all of this. I want to be seen. I love having the baubles of success around me and people going, oh, look, it's Glenn, that fun guy, and all that kind of stuff. So it's
nobody's ever said that. Just to
everybody approaches me in the street. I can't walk out in Sheffield High Street these days without saying, look at that fun guy. Is he right copy? But no, it's an absolute, it's upsetting, because we know we're lucky that we've worked in a strange industry in the direct response world, but we know probably the best 3 copywriters we know, and I'm tempted to ask you to name your top 3 copywriters. I would dare say I've got a pretty good mind who they are, and I bet no one really knows who they are. Only a handful of people would know.
Yeah, I'm not even going to name them, because the names wouldn't mean anything, but they'd all be millionaires.
Yeah,
in terms of their earnings.
But no one knows them. But the point, more practically, and coming back rather than getting too kind of philosophically like high above a station, the point being is that if you look at all of the marketing that's out there, none of it, I've realized, is about trying to write better copy. Fine. Most of it is trying to write it in a faster, cheatier way. Fine. But really, all of it is just about confirming what everybody else is already saying and ticking off this box of like, yeah, I know that too. And that's pointless. That's not going to get you as a copywriter. And I know most people, I know this from hard work and labor of speaking to actual copywriters and like spending all of that time doing so, saying, what is your actual problem? What is your actual problem? I haven't got enough clients. I'm not getting paid enough. I'm not getting I've not developed these relationships that will pay me and allow me to be a copywriter. I'm spending all my time trying to desperately hustle on LinkedIn and email this and create this newsletter and create all this stuff. I haven't got time to focus on getting clients and all this kind of stuff. So it's a mess.
Yes.
And it needs to, well, it doesn't need to, it can carry on for as long as you like. But if you want to fail as a copywriter this year, spend all of your time continuing to do that. If you want to succeed, instead of worrying as much on marketing yourself to other copywriters, spend at least an equal amount of time marketing yourself to business owners, to people who are actually going to pay you to write copy for their company and for their product and for their service.
I'm going to be more blunt than you. I think we should make it our mission to knock some of these people off their perches, because I think it's poisonous. I don't know when being a copywriter became, if you want to become a copywriter, what you have to do is create a product about copywriters and then sell that to other copywriters. That's not being a copywriter. That's not what it is. And anyone that tells you that, believe me if you want, but they aren't a copywriter. They're just selling you a product. They could be selling you toilet roll. That's the product they've chosen to sell you. Fine, but it's not copywriting. It's all nonsense. Your goal should be, at the end of the year, 5 to 10 solid relationships with people who need copy. That's it. Work towards that. Don't worry about how many followers you have on LinkedIn. I don't even know how many people are subscribed to the Fix. I mean, I'm sure you do. That's largely down to the
12.
2 of us. 12, yeah. And 2 of them are like, we've got a burner account.
Dad, my brother, yeah.
Stop worrying about it. It's not going to get you where you want to go. A small number of really good relationships with people who will pay you for copy. Cultivate those relationships. Find those people, build relationships with them. You won't do that through a newsletter. That's thing 1. That's goal 1 for the year. Goal 2, I guess it's connected, but I think you have to look out for the bad advice and stop following it. And the best way of figuring out what advice is good and bad is the bad advice makes out like it's easy, like there's a shortcut, like there's a trick. Like if you just do this, I see this all the time. If you steal my hook, or I spent 1,000 hours mastering this so you don't have to. Bad advice. It's a massive red flag. Okay? We operate in a really high value skill set. People come to us because they don't know how to sell their products. They don't know how to reach their audience, and they need somebody with the skills to do that. There is no shortcut to that, and nor should there be, because that's what makes it so high value, that it's hard to do. So I'm not saying you can't accelerate it, but there isn't a shortcut to it, and you'll never make it easy. It's a craft. It has to be learned. And don't listen to the people who, I guess they're saying broadly the same category of people who want to say, just do this, do A, B, and then, like in Kill Bill, where it's like, if you just punch someone in 4 different places, they fall over. It's like the five way. People act like copy is like that, and it's not. You're going to try and get your 10,000 hours in somehow. You need to get better by writing, finding clients, writing for them, finding clients failing and learning from that failure. That's how you get there. That's not what people want to hear, but sooner or later, everybody realizes that. And if you can make this year the year you realize that, you'll have a better year than if you don't.
Okay, so we've got 2 things. We've got number 1. What a great summary from me there. Number 1, you need to spend more time focusing on marketing yourself to potential clients instead of copywriters. Number 2, start ignoring and not being sold and attracted by the bad and easy advice is the way. If it's bad, it's going to be easy.
Right.
You've noticed
you keep doing this, and it's just giving you a little. I don't know if you're getting it up. Every time you put your thumb on like that, like Tony Blair.
Yeah. No, this is the Tony Blair thing, isn't it?
He would always do that. He would act like he was hitting you with a ruler.
Yeah. And that's really all Cameron learnt from Blair, was just that hand movement. Anyway.
Do you know what, Glenn? It was all he needed to learn, wasn't it?
It was all he needed to learn. But yeah, so that's the second thing, is like, don't be sold by the easy advice, because that's probably bad advice. Number 3 is what, Nick?
Double the length of time you spend on research. Okay, this kills so many copywriters. They don't spend enough time researching. They don't even come close to the amount of time they should have spent researching. Again, it's this desire to. Again, I think it's a contextual thing based on the information that flows into the market. It's the idea that if you just do X and Y, or there's a trick to it. People don't do anywhere near enough research. They write too much. So write less, research more. We were just on a call with our, with some of our academy students, and we were talking about this, that if you're not ready to start writing, I'm doing it now. That's a bit of a Tony Blair. If you're not ready to start writing, if I was Tony Blair, I'd say research, wouldn't I? That was his policy thing, but it was education. You want to get to the writing part quickly. Do the opposite. Write less, research more. Weirdly, you will write more and you will write it quicker, because what takes time is wading through an idea that's not ready to be written down yet, hasn't been fully formulated, hasn't been fully thought out. And all of that happens in the research and planning stage, or let's call it research and preparation. Massively increase the amount of time you spend doing that. You could probably get down, if you were fully jobbed up and you had lots of work coming in, to a situation where you were only writing 2 days a week, and the other 3 days were thinking, organizing, researching, pulling your quotes together, getting yourself ready and prepared to write, and then the writing can happen very quick. You'll be surprised by how much work you will get done if you do that. I don't think a lot of people do. I think they want to start writing straight away.
Yeah, I mean, your week is 5-day work week, if that's what you're still working with, unless Tim Robbins, or whatever his name is, Tim Ferriss. Tim Robbins, an actor? I don't know. Tim Ferriss. Over days. I don't know. There's probably some book out there, like self-help book now, that tells you like the 1 minute work week. But
it's the 5-day work week.
Yes, let's stick to 5-day. Not skipping past Heath's 3-day, but no. 5 days, 2 days. Do you know what? I've just realised I'm saying all this. It was all for a stupid joke to say at least one day impersonate Tony Blair. And I've realised by doing all that preamble joke that it seems like I'm about to make a serious point. But no, I will back that up by saying you should be spending less than 50% of your time writing. Like if you're writing more than you are researching, thinking, like just ruminating, you are in a troubled situation. However, bad tangent, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but that does not mean to say you don't write necessarily every day. I do actually think you should be writing and doing little tasks, which we will come on to in a future episode. We'll do this next time, because it's something I want to speak about and talk about, that how to train yourself to be able to write faster and do that. One way, there are technical ways you can do that, but sticking to this idea of researching more and thinking more, that will speed up your writing like exponentially. Like
massively.
But the thing is, and to kind of cross-reference our second point of not listening to the easy advice, it's dead hard. It's dead hard to like not write, to spend more time researching, to even when it comes back to going back to clients, to kind of convince clients that you need time to research and think about stuff, to slow them down and to say, hey, no, we need to actually figure this out. And and figure out your pricing, how you actually price your time and what have you. All of that is really difficult. Like, it's not easy. When we say cut down your writing time, it actually counterintuitively sounds like we're going, oh yeah, to write less. It's actually dead hard to do that, but it will make your writing better. It will ultimately speed you up. I'm aware that this all sounds kind of weirdly contradictory.
Glenn, we can go back to that first point and just add a bit of meat to it, which is you're looking for 5 to 10 quality relationships with, not just transactional relationships. You want people you like working with, who like working with you and understand the value of copying. And those people are, they're not necessarily easy to find, but they're worth finding, right? Won't find them in a list of 1,000 other copywriters. They're all your competitors. Okay, so you need, even if you can only get to 5, if you can get the right clients who understand all the things that we've been talking about, and they are out there, and they are worth finding, and they're worth spending time to find and build those relationships with, that's going to start to get you in the right direction. And I think you'll quickly find, if you follow some of the things we've been talking about, even just these 3 points, that all of the upsides of copywriting, whether it's the lifestyle, creative freedom, the money, if that's what you're in it for, all of those levels start to be unlocked, but not by scrabbling around in the dirt, selling a product on copywriting or writing a newsletter to other copywriters. Do that for fun if you want, but that's not how you get the lifestyle. Or
I would just clarify, you say do it for fun. I would also clarify that we're not advocating, well, I'm certainly not advocating not socially interacting with other copywriters. That is a really good thing. It changed my life. There was like a period on social media when there was a copywriting community. It was really strong and really helpful and useful, but it was a social thing where it was discussing things, often not copy. Like it was not a social thing to make copy better. And that's where I think the trick has gone, because you've got so many people now saying, well, I'm a copywriter, I can do this, rather than just socially interacting and saying, oh, how are you doing? What are you reading? What's going on? That's fine. That's cool. But that is not the same as we've perverted it in like the LinkedIn, in inverted commas, quotation marks, professionalness of like that being the social platform. There's this kind of presentation of competency and the fact that I'm training and doing a corporate thing. That's what's made it all go a bit wrong. And now everybody's trying to do that rather than having a really healthy social opportunity to share copy, to share ideas, to criticize each other, to peer review copy, all of that stuff. That's great. Like, do that. Have a big following of copywriters in that respect. We do our own accelerator.
That's not following, Glenn. That's being part of a community.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But like a group, a tribe, or whatever that you want to have, that's great. But don't try and market to those people. Don't try and be selling them guides all the time and all this kind of stuff.
They aren't going to buy anything from you. Oh, you're not. That's not copywriting. Anyway, we should sign off with just a quick note, which is that we're doing our first fix live workshop next week, aren't we? So this is Wednesday, the 31st of January. It's at 2:00 in the afternoon in the UK. So that's 9 a.m. Eastern or 6 a.m. Western time. I don't know how many West Coast readers we have. It's free. And we're going to be talking about a way of formulating ideas. It's actually a way of organizing your research, a way of organizing ideas and research and a story you want to tell into a sort of form that makes sense, so that you can then start writing and write it in a more compelling way. It's probably the best way we've come up with of explaining how you actually find a big idea and wrestle it into shape and get it down onto the page. So we're going to be talking about that. You'll be able to ask questions. It's completely live. Questions, abuse, maybe talk about Glenn, what Glenn's wearing, anything you like, don't put ideas in your head. You'll be able to ask questions live. Like I said, it's at 2:00 UK time. Glenn, let's post a link to...
Yes, that'll be a link in or around. You can find in or around.
in and around the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting into the final third.
Always slip into my DM if you need that link.
Of course, slip into his DMs.
Door is always open, the DM door. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll be a lot.
It will be good. It will be useful. I promise you that. And yeah, we've never done anything live. Like I said, completely free. So sign up. There won't be any replays or anything like that, though. So you've got to make it at that time. Be with us live or don't be with us at all. Like Glenn said, feel free to slide into his DMs to ask him for more.
Slide in. We're going to start the live broadcast by playing Van Morrison's slide in. There's a song I'm going to find it, and that's we'll open the
we'll open with that.
Yeah.
And we'll build from there. Right. This has been fun. Glenn, we'll be back next week with another episode of The Fix. We'll see everybody who's joined us for the webinar at 2:00 on Wednesday, the 31st of January. Right. Yeah. Glenn, I'm going to cook my little boys their dinner.
I'm going to edit that so it stops after boys.
If you enjoy The Fix and want to get access to even more good stuff, join the Fix Accelerator today. Get access to special masterclasses from Nick and me, watch expert interviews with industry legends, join live copy feedback sessions every week, and get connected to our very own private copy network. Visit thefixaccelerator.com for more information.